Welcome everyone to the January meeting of the Project Management Community Group. We'll go ahead and get started. We may be expecting some additional attendees. Just a few things as we get started today. Of course, we are happy that you're all joining us. Please, though, if you've joined by phone, do not please put us on hold. If you have any questions or comments during the session, please feel free to either raise your hand or enter them in the chat. The session is being recorded, just so you're aware. Today's hosts are myself, Lisa Bellers from Bucknell University. I'm one of the co-chairs. Jen Burch from the University of Michigan is the other co-chair, as well as we're joined by members of our steering committee. Today's agenda, we're going to be talking about Connect 101, a little introduction to the new Connect platform by Educause and some tips and tricks on using it, as well as our project management community group presence there. We also want to discuss some upcoming webinar topics and get ideas for the 2022 calendar year. And we also want to talk about an opening that we have on our steering committee. So Connect 101, as I mentioned, is the new Educause community platform. It is, you can access it at connect.educause.edu. And during this session, we really encourage you to open it up in a separate window because we're going to be showing you some things and walking through some demos that it would be great, you know, if you want to do hands-on and just be updating things as we're showing you or trying things out. Once you log into Connect, you'll see that you can get to the different communities that you're a member of my communities, and you'll be able to pick the project management community group. In a few moments, we'll go into a live demo and show you how to navigate. There are in the right-hand section, there's a links to some quick starts and FAQs produced by Educause if you have any questions on them. So to kind of get started in the Connect 101, I'm going to hand it over to John Prette, who's a member of our steering committee, and he's going to demo some of the profile information about yourself sections that you can do in Connect. Go ahead, you can share, John.
Great. Thank you, Lisa. Happy New Year, everybody. And thanks for joining us this afternoon. And yes, I am going to take a few to give everybody a walkthrough and demo of some of the Connect features. I just need to do one thing in the background before I share my screen, which is I realized that although my computer was in Do Not Disturb, my Microsoft Teams was not in Do Not Disturb. So I don't want it to blow up on everybody as we are going through the meeting here. But one of the things that I enjoy most about being part of this community is the fact that we are a group of project managers and counterparts from across the country, and I love to know where people are from. One of the things I've noticed immediately with the community itself is a lot of times we don't know where people are coming from because we don't have things like signatures or different notations tied to our accounts. We can't necessarily connect with each other the way the community is set up to be able to handle. So that's what I'm going to take a few minutes and walk through and show you some areas. And as Lisa said, I encourage you to take the time when I'm sharing, do this on your own machine, do some of the stuff right on the spot to get you going there. So I'm actually going to go ahead and share my screen, and I'm going to turn off my camera because I'm working on my bigger screen. So otherwise, people that'll see me, you'll just see the side of my face for the next 5 to 7 minutes anyways. All right. So hopefully someone shout out from the steering committee if you cannot see my screen right now. All right, I will take the silence as everybody can see. So where I'm at right now is the Connect homepage. So as Lisa gave the example earlier, and the URL, it's just connect.educause.edu. When you go here, it's great because you can see summaries and different things going on across the entire set of communities, not just any particular one. And this is even before you log in. So we can see discussions across all the different communities. Like one that caught my interest immediately relevant to me was talking about student account lifecycle. I'm not part of the communications community, but boy, that piqued my attention. And I'm going to dig deeper into it and can see some of that stuff. You can also see all your events here at the bottom. So here we are right now, January 18th at the PMCG webinar. So we market that and it's visible right on the entire homepage. So you don't have to be part of the specific community to see some of their events or different activities going on. Joining just can turn around and then get you in deeper and access and make those connections. So for me, I'm a little bit old school. I go ahead and I sign in using my actual old Educause credentials. I was signed in earlier, so it just did a quick single sign on for me. So the first thing that I'm going to look at today is when you click on your icon up here, for me, it's my picture because I've shared it. One of the things I'll show, you can see an option for profile. So we want to start on your profile and talk about some things that you can do to beef this up and make yourself more accessible to the members of the community. So your Educause Connect profile is actually linked to your entire Educause profile when you go in here to edit it. So you can see your bio, if you have social media, any links to social media, job history if you provided, education, associations, et cetera. So it's like a mini resume for you there. You also have access to your connections, contributions, your account, my inbox. I'm going to talk about my account in a few minutes, but I'm going to start by editing my profile. And this is important because the information that you pull up on your profile, your name, your title, your organization, address, email address, any of that information, that then can get pulled over right into Connect for your signature line. So what I have here, we can see that I have my name, email address, other information. I'm not going to make any changes, my phone number, et cetera. They're all in my profile. And then I say what I want my profile to be visible. So I want it to be visible to the public. So if you just go off to the Educause website, not even in Connect, search my name, you'll see my profile and everything, or my bio and things I've spoken to. You don't get my contact info though. That's private. That's held in the Connect platform. So you can update your profile information here. And then when you save it at the bottom, I'm going to cancel because I didn't make any changes. You can also edit your bio and additional information. Those are things you may want to take another extra few minutes on to get to it later, but I recommend taking a look at those pieces. Where those show up are, and I'm going to go into a new window here, is when I go into Connect and I go into our community groups, so I can explore my communities, and I look and say, hey, I want to look, I'm going to go into our project management community, and we see our discussion. So if you notice on the discussion, we have, I posted some information a few days ago about a position we've got here at Mason that in our provost office that's available. So if we look at my posting here, scroll through, get through all the materials, but what we have at the bottom when I post is my information, where I'm from, contact information, et cetera. Website URL, I'm not sure why that's not working properly, but in theory, it should have my website on there as well. But it's got my name, title, and my email address. That information is there because I put it on my profile and I tied a signature to my posting. So if I was to go back to discussions and say I wanted to post a new message, I can come in here, type up my subject, put in my message body, and then down at the bottom, you see the signature block here. I can expand that signature block, come on, and we can see here's my signature, and it's got the information in here. You can default or edit your default signature for what you have in here by clicking on this, and you just do that within any post. So you don't even have to post it once you go in and make the change. And that's what I encourage you to do right now if you're following along. Hopefully I'm not going too fast. But you can look and see, here's what's available for your signature. And then you can build your signature block off of that. So if I wanted to put things in a slightly different order, I could. But I said, I want my signature to be first name, last name, job title, company name, email address, website URL. So let's say I wanted to put the whole, if I wanted to put city in there, I could, come on, I could drop city and state in there. let's say I want to get rid of the website. I can just go ahead and delete that. And I want to move email address. So I wanted to say, you know, John Prette, George Mason University, Fairfax, put in my comma, Virginia, and then I want to put in my email address after it for everybody. Put my email address in, I can save that. Now we can see I have my signature line built on that information. I didn't type it in, I just use the information that's there. You could also custom type it if you want, but what that does is that helps the other members of the community. If you post a question, they know who you are, where you're coming from, or even better, when you reply, who you are, where you're coming from. So I'm going to pause a moment there because that was the first point that I wanted to make and show you how to do your profile update, bio update, and get into your signature block for posts. Any questions on that right now? I'm going over to chat. So it looks like Jen had said you can also create your post signature from within your account in the My Account tab. Awesome. Thanks, Jen. Any other questions, or I cannot see if any hands are raised. If not, I'm going to leave that one be. And then I'm going to go back to my account and the other very important thing that I want to show folks, which is your privacy settings. Privacy settings are just what you think they are. It controls what other people can see of you. One of the members of our steering committee is Jennifer Smith. Jennifer Smith is a fairly common name. In fact, I believe we had 6 or so Jennifer Smiths within Educause. Making your profile picture public, and public in this case means public within the Educause Connect community, can be very helpful because people know that it's you and not the wrong person. So that way, when we know what each other look like, we know, hey, I've got the right person there if there's common names. You have different options for what you can set it. So mine, like I said, I make it available public. And actually I misspoke earlier, versus members, which are members of your community. So you can choose who you want to see and what you want to see for each of that information. So, and how you want it to share. The rest is when you start getting into member lookups and different things and how you want to connect. So when I come down here, I want people to be able to reach out to me because that's what Educause Connect is. It's about connections and being able to build that platform where it's not just being part of a large group or organization like we're in the PMCG, but to be able to build out so you can reach folks in one-on-ones too. So for me, I allow myself to be added as a contact from other members of the group, as well as folks to send me a message if they want. What that does is that opens you up and makes you a little bit more available to the other members. I'm not so big on social media, these other associations, different things like that, for what folks want to see, but I do put my bio out there. So if people want to, before they decide whether or not they want to follow maybe a recommendation or a thought or a response I give to a question, check me out and see, hey, does this guy have any sort of background to provide that type of advice? Then you can make your own judgment. So I make my bio public. Same thing, education, job histories. I've been at Mason forever, so it's not really much difference there for me. So you get to choose what you want to see. So what I recommend in going through, some of the things that I focus on, like I said, are your picture, where you're from, your company, your title, and contact information is a big one. And then what you want with your bio. Again, you have choices in there. It's not an all or nothing. It's who and what you want people to see. From that. So once you have those out there, that gives you the ability to do things like start to make connections. And someone can reach out to you and make a connection. So you can look someone up, and if they are available to connect with, you can make a connection request. And that's where you can see, so like Jen, our CG leader now, she's up here as a connection. I can actually send her a message because she's allowed that. So those are some things that allow us to work and use the tools to be able to connect with each other really across the country, across the world from where we are as project managers or within any of your communities. Questions on your profile and the security settings. If you do have questions and want to learn more, we've mentioned the links that Lisa had showed on the first slide. You can also get those in the About FAQs section up here. So there is a quick start guide and an FAQs list. Lots of great information in there. We've been on Connect now for a few months, but you can watch the intro video, learn about the different features and settings through that way as well. So we have those links in the presentation that come out after today, but you can see they have a lot of FAQs. If there's a question you don't see answered out there, feel free to ask us. Maybe we know, and we can also forward that question along to Educause leadership as we continue to grow. So with that, I'm going to wrap up my general section, hand it back over to Lisa and the team, where we will then go a little bit more deeply into the areas within how we work within the PMCG using the Connect platform. So thank you very much, everybody. And I encourage you to keep your profiles up to date and share some of that information with your peers when we post. Thank you.
Thanks, John. So next up, what we're going to do is Jen Burch is going to do a demonstration more focused on the project management community group area within Connect platform. And some things she's going to be talking, just general navigation, templates, discussions, and blog entries. As John said, that we've been live for a few months, and it's taken us a little while to figure out how we want to use all the different areas. And of course, we're taking any feedback, suggestions, other ideas, but she's going to walk you through what we've set up on the community platform for the project management group. So go ahead, Jen, if you want to share your screen.
Yep. I'm going to take us on a little bit of a detour first before I go back to the PMCG group. Can everybody see my screen okay?
Yes.
No? Okay. So I know that I never want to discourage someone from actually communicating and getting communication from the groups or anything, but I know that sometimes those emails that come in right away are a little distracting for me. And I'd prefer to just get the daily digest on some groups, whereas others I might want to be more synchronous and actually collaborate real time. So one of the settings that you do get in your account settings as well is this idea of being able to sort of control, similar to what the listservs used to do, where you can kind of choose whether or not you want a daily digest or real time or no communication from that group. What's really great about that is that, maybe there are some groups that you like to stop in and look for information or maybe have a question from time to time, but you don't necessarily want to get flooded with all of the emails coming in from them. You can come into this area for notification settings. It's under your My Account area. Go to Community Notifications, and you're going to see options for any of the communities that you're a member of. You can choose whether or not to send you real-time daily digest or no email. Still can go in and check them whenever you feel like, but this would allow the email coming directly into your inbox to be a little bit more controlled. So just wanted to point another one of those things out, but it used to bug me with the listserv, and it took me forever to actually figure out that I could do some controls over the listserv as well, but this is the equivalent of kind of getting those daily updates. Anybody have any questions on that one? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to our PMCG group. You'll notice up at the top, I'm just going to my community groups, and I'm going to click on my communities. Click on my project management area. Now, I will give the disclaimer that some of us in the PMCG have the admin rights, so there might be a few items in the drop downs that are unique to the admin role. I'll try to point those out when we hit them, but just know that there might be some things that are a little bit different for me than what you might be seeing on your screen. But in general, the main homepage here for the PMCG is going to be the same thing. and you'll see that there are options for the different areas that you can collaborate with us, read postings, or even share some of the templates. So I think we mentioned this over the past few months that we're planning to retire the use of the old Google site and having all of our templates placed out there and in various different shared drives. We're really going to try and bring some of the things that we know are high content use into the library here so that you can actually access those without having to search all over the place and try and find them. We've got the tool for it. Let's use it. So most of the time, what used to be the emails and the questions and sort of the just, I have an idea or I have this topic that I need some assistance with, those are things that you're going to go into the discussion threads for. They're the former email communication where you'd send an email out and people would see it and respond and have that back and forth conversations. Most of you have probably seen these to some extent already, but they're super easy to go in here and just post a new message in. Has anybody not had a chance to use the messages yet, or at least see and go into the screens and try to see what they look like and how they could potentially reply to it? I'll look for like maybe some hands raised or anything here. Of all the things that you would be working on with the PMCG, this is probably the most likely one. Now, I think it might be a little daunting for some people who aren't used to systems to do this. I think in the past it was very easy for us to do emails back and forth with the listserv. You can still reply to those content threads through the email, but it's pretty easy to come in here and just go ahead and create some sort of content message through the Connect platform itself. Don't worry about the formatting and all the interesting tools that they have in there. Just put your message in and then make sure that you have some sort of signature on there if you want somebody to be able to contact you directly. And I think that's the big key is if you'd like somebody to reach back out to you, then make sure that you have your profile updated so that they can actually connect with you. There is the potential for them to send you messages through Connect itself, but you have to give them the ability to connect with you. So those are some of those profile settings that John was going through with you. It's one thing to put the bio and the information out there. It's another thing to make it actually so that people can connect with you and network with you. But putting in your post in here, I find it funny that there's actually an opportunity to do scheduling. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you, if there are any suggestions for how that might be helpful. Like maybe you want to wait a little bit to post a message and a question. I could see how the PMCG steering committee or maybe even Lisa and I might be able to schedule messages if we wanted to sort of get conversations going throughout the month. But those are options that you can do in there. You can also save a draft if maybe something pops up. We're all PMs, so, or I think most of us here are PMs, so things come up, you get distracted, but you're not ready to send that message just yet. Maybe you want to just save the draft and come back to it later. You can do that as well. If you do save drafts, you will see that it is still listed in your discussion threads. It just hasn't been shared out with the rest of the community. So you'll still see it listed in those lists of discussions. I think that's it for the discussion threads here, but let me go ahead and back out here. We'll go back to the navigation. So again, discussion is probably one of the main areas that you will be in. And of course, what we were talking about is the library. Now, library is where we are putting all of the new or even some of our older PM templates. Now, by default, you'll come into this screen and you'll see sort of a listing of different entries that are in here. There's also this little icon where you're going to see where it says no folder selected here. If I click on that, I see this drill down into the structure, and this will help you kind of navigate specific topic areas of focus for those templates. Template sharing is going to open things up and show you even further into those details. So you'll be able to see things that are specific to budget management, Eventually, we might have the things in there for some of these intake and governance conversations, but essentially, these are like those main topics that we tend to focus on back and forth with our templates and conversations. If you click on that, that will then bring up just those things that have been tagged with that particular topic area. Now, there might be a few things that get tagged in more than one item. I know there are some areas that kind of have a little bit of crossover, but in general, this will help you kind of quickly find those things that you're looking for. Oh, I need another one that helps me see project estimation. I'm going to go out here and look at that budget item and see it. You can also take a look at the search up at the very top of the screen there. Personally, I wish there was a little search button down in the community group itself, but apparently this allows you to search across all of those communities that you're a member of. So in theory, if I come up here and we're looking for just estimation, I could do that search in that search bar, and it will help find a bunch of entries that actually match that search criteria, including some of these templates. So it's just another quick way, and I actually think that this works much better than what we've used in the past for trying to find those templates, because it doesn't require you to have to go into that organizational structure and try to find the right item. You can just link to those items right directly from the entry here. All right, let me go back again. Is everybody still with me? It's hard to know what's going on because all of the cameras are off right now, but John's given the shout out to Jen Smith and Ed for doing all their work. So there was actually an initial effort to help everyone by getting some of the older templates off of the Google site and moving those into the new Connect platform. Um, if you have relied on templates that are out there, you don't see them in here, we would encourage you to go ahead and volunteer your time to take some of those things and store them out in the library. That team tried to take a first pass. We hope we have the things that are still relevant, but there are some older items out there that maybe others are using that we just haven't seen as much use on. But if you do know that you have used it in the past and you might use it again, please help out. Totally willing to have everybody. And everybody is encouraged to contribute to the template library. There's no approval process or a vetting of it through a committee or anything. We trust everyone as professionals to contribute and share ideas and things that they're using that they found valuable. Everyone should be able to come right into this library section and just click on the button that says create entry. If you're not sure about tagging or any of those details that go with it, don't worry about that. We will periodically go through and help modify that.
And Jen, I had raised my hand and you preemptively answered, my question with those two statements. One was reminding folks, yes, you can add your own templates, and we actually absolutely encourage you to. I love seeing my stuff out there. Adam loves seeing his stuff out there, and those of us on the steering committee. But there's 1,500 plus strong in the PMCG. We know that other universities have charters. We know that other universities have things, job descriptions, organizational structures. And if you're not sure where to put it, you can always reach out to one of us, connect, or or send, post it on the message board asking for help. That's what we're here for. But like Jen said, we can work on the tagging of things, and if it needs to move from one area to another, or if you see an area missing that you'd like in the directory structure, let us know, if we can improve on that too. But it's wonderful to see them out there, and it's only better with the more and more that folks are willing to contribute. Thanks.
Thank you, John. All right, any questions on the folders for the templates? The creating the entry, like I said, it's pretty straightforward, but if you're not sure, We'd rather you put it out there and one of us can help with trying to make sure it gets organized into a appropriate location. Um, I wouldn't let that be the hang up. There are plenty of things out there that we can learn from each other on. Even these thumbnail images, I will tell you, we in past have had some quirky experiences with trying to place those things in there. I wouldn't stress out about that being something that you have to fill out as well. What's more important, obviously, is just what's the template for? A description that kind of describes like what it's intended for, something that people can use as search criteria even when they're using their search to find that template. Whatever you can put in that description to help that information move more quickly is going to be the biggest thing that you can do with it. All right. The only other area that I wanted to try and touch on, because this is something a little bit newer, and Lisa had the great idea that in the past we would send out, or we wouldn't send out, but we would actually put a post on a page on our old Google sites that was sort of the year-end summary. What we're planning to do going forward is actually create a blog post for that. Now, we did do that this year, but then we discovered afterward that it doesn't send a notification out to everyone that there was a blog post. So this was kind of a test for us as well. But what our goal with that is that we would be able to provide you with this running summary of what the meetings were, what the resources are, and how to access those resources quickly so that you don't necessarily have to go back to old meeting notes and old event notes. You can see this in one place. Um, we're open to ideas, but I think what we might end up doing going forward is actually sending a discussion post out to everyone with a link to this blog post to just say, Happy New Year. It's been another great year. If you need a quick reference to everything that you've either seen or haven't been able to participate in this year, you got some time during the break, here's the link to all those resources. But that's mainly what we're looking at right now. But the interesting thing is that everyone in the community can create blog posts. So be aware that you have an opportunity. If you have an idea, if there are things that you would like to contribute to, you're a thought leader or you'd like to be known as a thought leader, this is a place where I think we can actually share a lot of information without necessarily having it be through those discussion threads where there's a lot of conversation back and forth. Um, let us know if you're interested. I think there are a lot of things that we could do with it, but right now it's just kind of filtered down to this specific area that we're thinking of, but there are opportunities, of course. All right, events, pretty straightforward. I don't think anybody has any questions about that. I will say that one thing that is not the easiest thing is that it doesn't have a direct integration with calendars. So you will get notifications by sending out a one of our discussion threads that there's a meeting coming up. Here's the link. Here's the registration link. Get your information from there. But that will not help you with this download to calendar. So there's one of those caveats there of this is a feature that could be confusing for folks. The URL links that we're currently putting into these events is not the link to the meeting, it's the link to the registration. So if you download this to your calendar, know that eventually when you get that receipt back from your registration, it's going to provide you with a slightly different URL that has your login information as well. So you'll have to manually update your calendar or create a separate calendar entry. This download isn't going to be as seamless as you'd like it to be right now. Any questions? Such a quiet group. I need more laughter today. I was telling the group that I need laughter today. All right, members, you've been in conversation in various meetings. You're curious. You bumped into some people. You had a fun conversation with them, but you can't quite remember, what their email was or what school they were with. Go into the members area and try to find the person you were chatting with, and then hopefully they've updated their profile, and you can go ahead and communicate with them and connect with them offline. So I think this is a really good way for us to try and connect when we're not going to the annual conference in person and you're not passing out cards anymore. You can still connect with all these people that you've kind of passed in virtual hallways, if you will. I'm looking forward to doing a lot more of that too. All right, that's all I had to cover for actually navigating here, but I want to open up the door here. If anybody has any specific areas that they're still kind of confused about, or maybe you just haven't gone to the discussion threads yet and done any replies in there. I know it's pretty easy to do it in email, but you can also do that in here as well.
Jen, there's a question in the chat about a place
Yeah.
for certifications in the profile. I can't remember it particularly, but I thought maybe you could share your profile and we could see.
No, I don't remember. I know there's memberships. Do, 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 do.
I think I put mine somewhere, but I can't remember where I put it.
I don't think it does actually, because I know I have, because of my certifications, I've got these memberships in professional associations. But I don't think you can actually put in any, oops, wrong click. That was not what I wanted. Yeah, I don't think there is like a specific area to put it in. I think if you wanted to, you'd probably end up having to put it in your descriptions. And if memory serves me, I think that's actually why I had it in here.
Yeah, I think I put mine under honors and awards. Not that it's an honor or an award, but it was someplace to put it.
I don't know, I feel like there should be a section for gratitude. I'm grateful that I passed all of these tests. Thank you.
That's what I know. I wanted to get mine out there somewhere, and the only place that I could probably could get it in there was honors and awards. So that's why I put my certification. But we could share that feedback with the folks at Educause, that maybe they can expand that section, or make a separate section for certifications.
Yeah, I think let's take it back. We'll see if there is something that we can do there, because project management is definitely an area where there are plenty of opportunities to show what those certifications are.
Same with like the networking, there's a lot of professionals in many of their groups that would want to spotlight their certifications.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So one of the other questions we had is, Fred says, for discussions, I posted something a week or so ago and it had no responses. What are the guidelines around reposting? I don't know that we have any guidelines. What do we think about suggestions? I feel like it should be okay for folks to be able to bubble it back up again and say, hey, I'm still interested in talking about this particular question, looking for any suggestions. I don't know, folks, what do you think? Do we repost, or does someone come back to their original thread and post another comment and reply to it?
I'm laughing again, Jen, because you did it to me again. So I posed that same question, which is, thoughts on, replying versus starting another thread. I always lean, especially with this tool, the way things display now. And Chris responded just now of replying as well. It's because it helps keep it more topical to that. So that would be my recommendation. And it sounds like others have that same feeling. Must be the project managers and all of us.
Probably.
The fewer places we have stuff. And then, and excellent point, Julie, on rephrasing as well. So Jen, I'll turn it over to you if you can follow the comments that are flying by.
Yep. Well, thank you for chiming in, folks, because I don't want us to enforce any decision on it, because this tool is meant to be ours to use, and whatever's going to be most effective for all of us is the best way to approach it. But it sounds like most folks are comfortable with just, if it's a significantly different question or it's rephrased in a completely different way, new thread. But if it's just it didn't get enough attention, maybe reply to your own thread. Just ask the question, hey, it's still a point of consideration and I'd like to have a conversation. If somebody can ping me offline, maybe they're not comfortable replying to the thread. I don't know that we've ever seen that in the PMCG, but it's possible that there are folks that are interested in the conversation and just aren't comfortable replying to a large group of people. There are sometimes conversations that folks are just, they have thoughts on it, but they're not ready to put themselves out there. Yep, replying privately as well. You betcha, Fred. Thank you. Is there an export feature within discussions where one can extract responses to a post? I'm asked to compile responses to a post into an Excel spreadsheet. That's an interesting question. I've never seen that before.
I have not seen that either.
We're going to go ahead and just see. So we've got expand all, collapse all, sort. It does not look like there is actually an export. And if the admins can't do it, I can't imagine that it would be available for everyone. So my guess is that your best option then is going to be the good old-fashioned ugly. Scroll over the top of it, copy it all, paste it. I know, cut and paste. But hopefully, I've never tried it, but some web pages are a little bit nicer about the formatting and pasting it in. I don't know if this is one of those, so maybe Florence, if you find out, you can let us know if it's friendly with that copy pasting or not. All right, any other questions? I don't see any hands raised. All right. Well then, Lisa, I think we can go ahead and go back to our presentation deck. And then we can, I think I have this slide actually. I think our next steps were to talk about some of the upcoming meetings that we have either committed to doing or are planning on trying to do. And then let you know that there are still some opportunities for some additional topics to cover this year. One of the things that we are trying to do a little bit more of in 2022 actually is to focus on some of those maybe less project management specific things and more areas that we as project managers often have to be aware of and knowledgeable about so that we can ensure that they're being addressed. DEI obviously has been front and center, but it's not always, excuse me, I'm getting allergy problems today. It's not always an easy, how do I address these things as part of my project activities? So one of the areas that we're going to try and do is bring in some folks to talk about DEI considerations in your project management world. Another area that we're going to try and talk about, and I am on the hook for trying to follow up on this one, is accessibility considerations. I think one of the most common things we hear is that, once the contracts are out of the way, we have a VPAT, we have checklists to go through when we're doing testing. Is that enough? Are we really truly doing what we should be doing as project managers to ensure that those areas are being truly addressed? Some schools have stronger needs for those things than others, or even regulation against it. But we want to make sure that we have some suggestions and tips in those areas as well for you. And Lisa is actually hoping that we can try and arrange some things around more of the small school project management organization. Lisa, I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about that at all, but
Yeah.
we cover a lot of big schools.
Yep,
Nice
we often have a lot of presenters from large schools with large PMO offices. I'm from a smaller university that, we do project management in a slightly different thing. We don't have an official PMO office. And I often collaborate with other small schools, and I realize that we don't really have any presentations from smaller, less formal sort of PMO office about how they do project management. So if you happen to be from a small school and you're interested in collaborating with me and pulling together kind of a panel discussion on PM processes at small schools, I'd love to hear from you.
I'm excited about that one. I know I feel like we talk a lot about the bigger schools and how our PMOs operate and what processes and governance we have to deal with, but a lot of times the smaller schools are the ones looking for the templates and tips on how to handle these things the most effectively with limited resources and maybe one person wearing multiple hats. So I think this will be a really nice shift to try and give some content. We also have the prioritization and governance that we're going to try and arrange for this summer. And I'm in the conversation. Lisa and I are planning on talking with the ITSM folks again for service management to talk a little bit more again about transitioning when you're off of a project onto that sort of operational state or what happens after the projects have wrapped up. But we do have breaks in there, and really interested in hearing some more feedback. I'm looking at the chat here and I see there's a request for some discussion on common tools. I think it's been a while since we've actually talked about those in a webinar, so that might be a really great idea to try and revisit, what are the systems and tools that people are using, whether they're just the standard Microsoft suite, Google suite, or actually using third-party vendor systems. What do other people think about trying to talk about that as one of our conversation points? What we can do too, because we're a little short on time, is maybe send out a quick survey that's just a very summarized, here's some ideas. So if folks have ideas, drop them in the chat here and we can collect those and route it out to the group for some ideas of voting on when we can fill those spaces in. If you are interested in volunteering to coordinate and run one of those sessions, or at least pull the information together and sort of facilitate a conversation, we'd love to hear from you. I think our steering committee really does a great job trying to pull things together, but we want to hear from the group as well and hopefully get some direct involvement from people.
And just a quick note, John, I saw Fred mentioned it about integrating project management into higher ed. And we've been focused a lot on that here at Bucknell, project management. And instead of saying higher ed, it's really project management on many of our academic projects, like instructional design and faculty-driven research projects, things like that. So if you're interested, maybe pulling something together on project management in the academic areas, because so much of what we do is in the administrative side of the university, it seems like, versus the academic side.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. Road mapping tools, Julie, you and I both.
Mm-hmm.
If I see another Excel spreadsheet created roadmap, it'll probably drive me bonkers. Oh, goodness. All right, some really great ideas here, actually. Yeah, keep dropping them in. Actually, I did miss a point here, Adam. I'm going to hand this over to you, but we have another meeting that's happening in January as well. At least I think that's what we're aiming for right now, but Adam will talk a little bit more about it again. But again, we've got 4 spaces to try and fill here. So if you've got more ideas, we'll definitely try and squeeze these in here with you.
Thanks, Jen. I know we just have a couple minutes remaining. So I promise I didn't write this slide, but I 100% agree with basically every word of it. So the first call is to join the PMCG, the Project Management Community Group Steering Committee. I would imagine the reason that you're here in this meeting today is there's some real perks of being part of the group. And whether you're kind of a lurker on the community page or you post frequently, there's a lot of really good stuff to get involved with and connections to make. Kind of behind the scenes, there is a motley crew of about 7 community group steering committee members, and we are looking to fill another spot. But just a note, we are one of the larger Educause community groups, and there's quite a bit to coordinate and collaborate on. So if you're interested, reach out to Jen or Lisa, who are the co-leads of the PMCG. You can do so through Connect or email. We do meet every 2 weeks to kind of talk hot topics, activity planning, and occasionally to give each other a hard time. But it is really a meaningful way to get involved with a group that has approximately 1,500 members. Also, I don't want to overlook this. If you have an interest in presenting or volunteering, like Jen was mentioning, you can contact any of us on the steering committee, or again, Jen or Lisa directly. If you remember the chart that Jen was just showing, there are quite a few TBD sections, and there's a lot of good stuff going on in the chat. So it's something that you'd be willing to share, or an initiative that you think might have broad appeal, or any successes or failures that you've had, all that kind of good stuff. We'd love to hear from you and for you to be a presenter. So let us know. Lisa, if you don't mind, we'll go to the next slide. So I'd say to that end, we do have our next regularly scheduled meeting for February on DEI, which Jen spoke about. Should be a really great topic. Kind of on the side, I am coordinating a high priority project ad hoc discussion related to how you determine, what are those high priority projects, how to best share updates, best practices, tools, tips, basically a roundtable discussion with like-minded individuals. I didn't want to muddy the waters with this meeting today, so I will be sending out the day and time for that likely in the next day or so. And similar to the last ad hoc meeting we had, we'll certainly record it and share it through Connect. And just a reminder of the links to the new community site, Connect. And if you can recall or remember the days way back 3 months ago before Connect, we do have a PMCG wiki site. We are combing through that and moving over the relevant content to Connect. So if you like to go down, stroll down memory lane, that wiki site has content from 2021 all the way back to 2011. And the topics from that time were governance, tools, agile. So we aren't really that different from ourselves back a decade ago, I guess. So these are all still relevant topics, but we are transitioning the top pieces of content over to Connect. So that will remain our primary project management community group site through the Educause Connect. So that's really all I had to share. Any questions or comments based on those last two slides? Cool. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We would love to hear from you. Any ideas, feel free to reach out to one of us or post it in the discussions. Hope you have a great day. Thank you.